I recently heard someone describe steelheading as a pursuit. I've been thinking a lot about that phrase ever since hearing that. It certainly isn't the easiest fishing out there, especially for those of us that choose to swing flies for these elusive creatures. In my limited experience, I've come to the conclusion that fishing for them isn't all that hard, but finding them is. Followed by knowing what to do and what not to do once you actually do find one. This is all part of the pursuit, and so far, I've loved almost every minute of it. Jen and I decided to spend a few days in the Oregon high desert doing some hiking and some fishing and hoping that we would get some quality lounge time in at camp. The weather forecast looked mixed, but we really wanted to get out and decided to risk it and see how it would go. I had tied up a few smaller non-weighted hobo spade type flies for the trip and was eager to see how they would look in the water. The run outside of camp looked promising, especially towards the bottom of it. This is one of my favorite parts of fishing for steelhead in this manner. I've noticed that there always seems to be at least one spot that feels good, that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right here moment. The unfortunate reality is that sometimes our intuition is wrong and we are left scratching our heads. There are many things in the pursuit of steelhead that are out of our control, and on this trip, the weather was a big one for us. As I fished, the wind started to pick up to the point where it became unsafe to cast, and both Jen and I had to seek out shelter from the incoming storm. While not ideal, we retreated to our four-wheel camper and decided to ride out the storm in comfort and take the opportunity to partake in some happy hour beers and have a delicious snack. While the howling wind and desert rain did their thing outside, we sat inside and eyed the forecast and hoped that the promise of sunnier weather and lack of wind the next day was in fact accurate. We awoke the next morning to find a cool but sunny fall day taking shape. As the sun made its way to the canyon floor, we sat and enjoyed our morning coffee and quietly observed the resident bighorn sheep as they started off their day. We happened to be there during mating season, and we got to see the rams chase the ewes around, hoping to get lucky. What an absolute treat to be a casual observer to the natural world in this way. It felt like we were in an old episode of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. The sunshine felt glorious, and I decided to go check out some water downstream from camp. While the sun isn't always your friend when it comes to steelheading, I had the advantage of it being at the backs of any fish that may or may not be around. I worked a promising looking run, and just in front of a promising looking rock, midway through my swing, my line came tight and my reel started to click. It was my, if it's going to happen right here moment. Not really knowing what the fish was doing, I went to slowly apply side pressure, and the fish was gone. Thinking that maybe I hadn't hooked it very well, I decided to switch to a comeback fly and to try to see what would happen. Nothing. And sadly, that was it. It was my only interaction for this trip. I could be more disappointed, but in reality, you win some and you lose some, and that's all part of the pursuit.